Greetings. Today I want to share a little secret about manifestation with you and why you need to write your desires upon the table of your heart. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take two scriptures from the Bible and I'm going to dovetail those two scriptures to show you how you have to get in touch with your physical self and your non-physical self in order to manifest your reality consciously. This is where thoughts and feelings come together. But you have to understand the Bible from a metaphysical standpoint, from an esoteric standpoint. And you must understand that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. That the Bible is not literal, neither is it secular history. That's why I'm going to read from this Bible, which is called the 66 Books of Magic, the Overcomer's Bible. This is my Bible, and this is the Old Testament. In the New Testament, there is no Jesus. Jesus has been omitted, and there's a blank space for you to write your name, which is I am. That's the name of all of humanity, and that's the name of God from generation to generation, and you can never say I am and not referring to yourself. Also, the universal question of life would always be, who am I? And when the answer comes, it would always be, I am that I am. And whatever I believe myself to be, for as a man thinketh in his heart, I subconscious mind, so is he. That's why I'm going to speak to you concerning the subconscious mind and how many preachers would have misinterpreted this scripture in Proverbs chapter 7. Now, if you listen to this video and you really like it and you would like for me to do a series on Proverbs chapter 7, I will definitely do a series on Proverbs chapter 7 and keep breaking it down until I reach to the last verse in chapter 7. Okay, but I am looking for your response. So I'm going to do about the first 4 or 5 verses for you, okay? And I'm going to dovetail it with another scripture. And I'm going to try and make it short. He said, my son, keep my words and lay up my commandment with thee. Now, this is your higher self that is saying that your words will never return unto you void. It must accomplish that which you send it to, and prosper anything whereto you shall send it. It is your higher self that is also saying that you shall decree a thing and it shall definitely come to pass. So it is saying that the commandment of your higher self are the things that you perceive, and the things that you perceive are the things that you speak, and that will determine your actions. Okay? So he said, keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine heart. The law is the law of consciousness. And you will live life when you understand that every word that comes from your mouth, it is the commandment of the Lord, your higher self. And that is why you must never use I am and desecrate the name of I am, because that is your God name, your higher self. That's your identity, which is your divinity. So never profane your divinity. He said, bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. So he's showing you here how your subconscious mind works together with your hand. So you have to be a thinker and a doer. That is what it is teaching you here. So it is teaching you a certain wisdom, but you have to understand this wisdom by understanding that you're a spirit having a human experience, by understanding your non-physical self. Also, you must understand the Bible on all 3 levels, which are the physical, the psychological, and the spiritual. But most people only try to interpret the Bible on 1 level. Okay, that's why most people believe that the Bible is literal and secular history. And that's why the preachers have been interpreting the scripture literally and pointing the finger at a literal woman and blaming her for adultery and not blaming the man, because it could go either way if you try to interpret this scripture literally, okay? But it is all psychological. It's a parable. He says, say unto wisdom. You see? This is where now it is giving you the key of what it is speaking about here. Okay? This is where now it is showing you this is all about creating your reality consciously. This is all about manifestation. He says, say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. So it is saying that you have to hold dearly to yourself wisdom and understanding, and that these parables or these proverbs are wise saying that only some people will be able to understand. Then it says here that the reason why you need to have the wisdom and the understanding of your higher self, it is to keep you a certain way. So it says in verses 5, that they may keep thee from this strange woman. This strange woman is here speaking of your ego self, your negative self. That self of you that wants to impregnate you with negative thoughts, so you get negative results. He said, from the stranger which fluttereth with her words. And so we are living in a world of flattery. We are living in a world whereby most people become intellectual and most people get trapped in the matrix and they speak the language of the matrix. It's called conformity. And so it is saying to you, you have to escape from conformity by understanding how powerful you are and knowing that your words are actually your command. Okay? And when you realize how powerful you are and you understand that words are spells and we are magicians and you have a magical self, then you fully understand more what this is saying. This is not speaking of no literal woman. Okay? So, your higher self is teaching you how to protect yourself from your ego self. Okay? So, you're protecting the higher self from the ego self. Okay? It's showing you the polarity here. Okay? Now, it says here that you must write. Let me go back to that part. He said, bind them upon thy finger and write them upon the tablet of thine heart. Now, you see, when you impress your subconscious mind with the feeling that your wish is already fulfilled, that is how you're going to write it on your heart, the tablet of your heart. And then, when it is written on the tablet of your heart, then it will be expressed outwardly on a written paper. Okay, so I'm going to show you now in Habakkuk chapter 2 where it is telling you the same thing. So even if you write down your desire, but deep within you have doubt, deep within you have fear, deep within you do not believe, nothing is going to happen. So in Habakkuk chapter 2 it tells you here, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. You will always be reproved by your higher self because your higher self is never wrong. Your intuition is never wrong. It's only when you go against your intuition you go wrong. If you listen to your inner self to lead you and guide you, you'll never go wrong. And the Lord answered me. And remember, when you speak of the Lord, you speak of your I amness, your awareness of being, your consciousness. Okay? And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables or even tablets. Okay? Any word could go there. It's the same thing. That he may run that readeth it. So, my brother, my sisters, many people speak about scripting and write it down and make it happen, but it have to happen from within first. That's what I'm trying to get to you. You have to write it on the tablet of your heart first before you even write it on the physical paper. So everything is taking place from within. So I'm teaching you how to live from inside out and manifest the desires of your heart so that you will not continue in adultery in terms of you going against your higher self, because you're supposed to be in a union, a divine union with your higher self, because thoughts and feeling must marry each other to bring that manifestation. And when you're not doing that because you have doubt and fear and guilt, you're truly in adultery, and you're not being wise, you're being a foolish one. He said, yeah, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. It's a law. Everything works by law and order. And when you understand the Bible from a metaphysical and esoteric standpoint, then you'll understand that these proverbs and parables, they are great lessons of wisdom that is there hidden for you to decode, because they've been encoded. And that's what I'm doing. I'm decoding it for you to say to you that whenever you're going to write down your desires, you must write it down on the table of your heart first. You must believe and feel that it is so from within. So my brother and my sisters, practice to write it on the tablet of your heart first by having the feeling of your wish already fulfilled. Then go ahead and write it down on paper, and it will definitely manifest in this three-dimensional world. Try it for yourself and see. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me, what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share this video. Also, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I'd like to follow me on TikTok, you can follow me at Black Mad Guru. However, I'll definitely encourage you to get my latest book. It's called Spiritual Recipe for Better Living. And if you want to understand the Bible more from a metaphysical and esoteric standpoint and see all of the recipe that's been given there to help you to grow spiritually, because it is like chicken soup or soup for your soul that will nourish you, I'll definitely encourage you to get that book. One for yourself, get one for a family member, get one for a friend, and get one for some religious person that you know, that they may read it and learn that the Bible is a book of mind science. Also, if you would like to have a one-on-one with me, you can reach out to me by way of email, and as long as we come to one conclusion, we can definitely work together. Also, if you would like to be a part of my Patreon community, you're most welcome. There's a lot of good gems that is available there for you. However, I have a course there that is called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And along with that is a bonus course on self-concept. And of course, that is for people who are donating at least $20 or more. And it's all available to you. So if you feel strongly to listen to those videos and you're willing to definitely invest in yourself, I definitely encourage you to go ahead and follow your intuition. Also, just before I leave you, I just want to remind you that if you feel strongly led to support this work because it's of great benefit to you, and if you're strongly led to support, I just want to remind you that we have a PayPal and that the link is always down below. So with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, I just want to say peace, love you all,